Alright, BINI Docuseries. Just some quick reactions kasi ang daming kailangan i-unpack. And maybe I would record a longer version of this, but just some really, really quick reactions to this. I hope that you all watched the docuseries already because it's really good. Like, the sequence, yung storytelling. If you're a new bloom, this is like a quick, not really quick, but it's a history. It's a background to everything that they went through. And if you've been a fan, if you've been an OG for quite some time, this is like a quick throwback, like a gift. And I watched it a couple of times already, watched it on screen, watched it on the big screen. We held our own watch party because Beanie really looks great on the big screen. So, um, ayun, it's a realization that not everything is spoon fed. Like Beanie, what they have now is not an overnight success. Unlike what other people are saying or what they are assuming na everything's given to them because they are backed by ABS-CBN and a big company. It's not. If you have watched the series, you could see their struggles, the uncertainty, this the survival game that they played just to be within Bini, yung struggles nila, yung story nila. So it's a really really great. I think it's actually a movie, but they call it a docu series. It's a great um, it's a great time. It's great timing then that they released it now when Beanie is still on the rise because this will get a lot more people interested in them, and I hope that the general public also gets a chance to watch this because it's a really really great work of art. Um, Without bias, if even if I'm not a fan of Beanie, I like watching movies, dramas. I would still think that this is a good piece of art. Um, Moving on to like specifics, like my reactions. Um, I like how there was like a spotlight to each member, like the road they traveled. The one that stood out for me the most was Stacy. Like we all know that she's the pink princess. We all know that she's funny. That yung suddenly yung mga ad-libs, yung mga jokes niya, I really find her funny. But I didn't really think that she had that survival fighter mindset. I love that fact na kalaban, kalaban, kalaban. Like she had to do everything to survive because reality wise, when you're put in that situation, there's no friends. Like even before, I mean, now with Vinny, they're friends because they're teammates, they're a group. But when you're in a survival show, it's you against the world. And I really love that piece about Stacy. Yung piece about Colette being like the protector of everybody, and yung feature about Joanna being the leader. I kind of wish that there was like a longer piece about Joanna. I kind of felt like the ending was rushed. There was a spotlight about Joanna, but and it was great. Like a lot of people already realized how great of a leader she is. But I kind of wish that it was a bit longer because she also deserves the spotlight. Not because she's a leader, but being so young, being put in that situation, being in charge of seven other people and other people that are older than you, like it's kind of like the fate of Bingy was also in her hands, and it's not an easy thing to be a leader. So hands off props off, hats off to Joanna for having that tough mentality, even though she's still young, and she's still gonna grow further as she grows older. So more power to her. Um, and the feature about Malloy being the sweetest, missing her family, it's so touching. It's we can only imagine how hard it is because while we sometimes share the same situations, it's different per person. So we can only imagine the toughness how tough it was for Malloy. And she's really the sweetest with their family, um, missing recording everything. Like I can imagine how crazy she must have felt during those times. And then we also have Mika being supported by her family. Like we don't know how sadness or depression affects us. And it's great that she was able to find an output in gaming. I'm also a gamer. So yeah, I'm just really glad that she was able to find an outlet and she was able to get through all of those tough times. And then we also have Sheena. Like a lot of people see her as somebody who makes jokes, like somebody who makes these dance challenges, someone who's very happy-go-lucky, but not a lot know the history about her mom, about what happened back then, her struggles, and it's like thank you for sharing that with us, Sheena, because um, like it's a very personal thing, and that you let us see um, what happened with you back then, and I hope that a lot of people. I mean, it's very touching because we don't know what the future brings. So um, if you have your parents with you, if you have your mom with you, your dad with you, just hug them. Just appreciate your parents because you wouldn't know what happens in the future, and it's a really really tough mindset. It's a really really admirable mindset to have that you're put into that situation where you lost your parent, but you still pushed through. You still went after your dreams at such a young age. It's very very admirable. And then we also have Gwen. Um, there were talks during day one. Like I wasn't there in day one. I was in my flights back to Manila, but my friends were messaging in our chat saying that there's already like an ambulance, and as a Gwen bias, I was also worried like why is there an ambulance? What's happening? And then nobody was responding, and then the Wi-Fi on the airplane isn't working. So it was kind of worrying what was happening back then. And yeah, like with all of the other instances that people were um like saying not so good things about her, like we know how much of a performer she is. We all know how much she cares so much about blooms and just really delivering the performance for that day. So hats off to Gwen. Like I really appreciate you as a performer and as an artist. And then lastly, of course, is Aya. We all know, we all have said already how brave she is for sharing her struggle. But aside from that, there's this really something courageous and outstanding in sharing your vulnerability to others because like what she said, it can be used against you. Like people can say that she's not okay, that she shouldn't be with the group or something like that. But her aim was to share her struggles and how she overcame it, and hopefully it inspires others as well. It's very, very, for lack of a better word, courageous of her to do that, because it's already scary enough to be in that position, but to also admit to yourself and to admit out loud that you feel that way, that you're struggling that way, is really challenging. So, as a visual person, I kind of knew that something was up already the moment that they featured her on TV Patrol, I think. There was this clip about her wearing a hoodie, and based on her body action, I knew that something was up. I already thought that it was anxiety, just seeing the symptoms, seeing the struggles. And yeah, it was hard. Even if she's not my idol, even if she's just an ordinary person that I saw on the street struggling, I would still be compelled to help her. But since she is a star, it was hard knowing, having an idea of what's happening and not being able to do anything. Yeah, it was when I was watching her part in the docu-series, it was like, oh no. So, yeah, and I wish there was something that we could do for her, but anxiety is, um, like, you can get help from different sources, but by the end of the day, sometimes it's you that has to overcome those. Like, I'm not saying that you're alone in this. Like, you're never alone. Like, there are people that will be supporting you, but it's it's a it's you that has to overcome it, and it's not an overnight success, like as what you have seen in the docu series. Like, it's not something that you just switch off, you're okay again. It's not a joke. I hope that people don't use it against those with disabilities or against those that have struggles. And then yun, days before Bini Day, I was checking the news, like what's happening with her, because I saw during Bini Run how she was affected by loud noises and by like sudden noise from the crowd. So I already confirmed by then that it's anxiety, because that's also the same things that triggers me. And so I wanted to show support as much as I can as a fan. Um, Kaya lang kasi nung first day ng Beanie Day, that was again like, I'm still not in Manila that time. So parang I was just praying that she gets all the support that she needs from everybody. And yeah, we saw naman from a documentary that her friends and family was there. So yeah, as a fan, I'm just really glad about that. And then on day two, um, I did something super embarrassing for the first time in my life, because I'm just really quiet in supporting in real life. Like, sometimes I can get loud with my friends, but um, like whenever I support my idols, I'm just really happy to be on the side or just really being a ninja. Um, I don't really like attention as much kasi nga it might trigger anxiety. Um, but yeah, but during day two, I in my mind I was like, I want to show support. I want to. There's this person that also has the same struggle, so I wanted to show support. And so for the entire duration of the concert, I was just holding a banner. And again, that's just really out of character for me because I try to avoid getting identified from the crowd kasi ayun, like I just don't want to be in the spotlight. But yeah, I wanted to show support and so uh I was telling myself mukha akong tanga kasi I was just holding Aya's banner during performances except dun sa solos ng other members kasi it wouldn't make sense. So ayun, those are my thoughts about the docuseries. You can also post your own reactions. I think the submission is still open. If you are an exclusive member, you can upload your reactions on the BINI website. I don't think I would kasi mukha akong ewan, umiyak ako dun sa part dun nga yung kay Aya. But you guys, hopefully you can record your own reactions and then upload it. And then I think the BINI members would be reacting to them. All right. Thanks for listening and hope you have a good night.